So last year, over 100 million Americans filed tax returns. Tens of millions of people expected refunds, and thousands of people watched their refunds get delayed, frozen, or reduced without fully understanding why. And this year, it's no different. So here's what bothers me. Nobody, not TurboTax, not your accountant, not the IRS website, is walking you through this in plain English. No one is breaking down the real timeline. No one is explaining what actually is happening behind the IRS's curtain. So let's fix that today. As a tax strategist at keepmost.com, I want to show you exactly how the IRS refund process works today, the real timeline, the actual checkpoints, and why your refund might be sitting stuck in a system right now without you even realizing what stage it's in. So let's start at the top. First, you need to understand something about the 2026 filing season. This is not a normal year. There were significant staffing cuts at the IRS. There was a government shutdown late in the year, and that reportedly interrupted key pre-filing activities like staff training, systems testing, and implementation of new tax law provisions. Now, you might think, okay, what does that have to do with my refund? And the answer is everything. Just think about it. If the systems weren't fully tested, if employees weren't fully trained, if updates to the tax code weren't fully implemented, that's when you see delays. Now, I'm not saying to panic. I'm saying just adjust your expectations. Now, here's what we know. The IRS began accepting tax returns in late January. So that's when the clock started. But here's the mistake I see constantly. People think the day they filed is the day the IRS starts processing your refunds. Not exactly. Let me show you how this really works. So the moment you e-file, let's say you're using TurboTax, your return gets date stamped and transmitted to the IRS. Think of it like sending a certified letter. The moment it leaves your hands, there is a record. So the clock starts. But, and this is important here, before the IRS looks at your refund amount, before they check your math, before they approve anything, they run a validation check. They're confirming your identity. They cross-reference your social security number, your filing status, your basic identifying information. And they're asking one question first. Is this person who they say they are? And this part happens fast, usually, but it has to happen first. And when you pass that check, the IRS officially accepts your return. You typically get that notification within 24 to 48 hours of filing. Now, let's slow down right here because this is where the confusion tends to escalate. You see, acceptance does not mean approval. Let me say that again. Acceptance does not mean approval. Acceptance means your return cleared the security checkpoint. It means your identity checks out. It means your form was formatted correctly. But that's about it. The IRS has not reviewed your numbers. They have not signed off on your refund. They have not issued your payment. You are now just in the line, and the real process is just beginning. So you might be asking, Keran, what does the real timeline look like? Well, here's the number you need to remember. 21 days. Historically, and this is IRS data, not a rumor, more than 9 out of 10 refunds are processed and approved within 21 days of e-file acceptance. 9 out of 10. That is the benchmark. But here's what trips people up. The 21-day clock starts at acceptance and not submission. So if you filed on Monday and the IRS accepted your return on Wednesday, your clock starts Wednesday, not Monday. And that 2-day gap actually matters because once the IRS actually approves your refund, meaning they reviewed it, confirmed the numbers, and signed off, the funds move to your bank. Now, the question becomes, how fast does your bank move? You see, most banks process direct deposits within 1 to 2 days. Some are same day, and some take longer depending on internal processing volume. So let's do the math together. We have up to 48 hours for acceptance. up to 21 days for approval, then 1 to 2 days for the deposit to post. So best case scenario, you're looking at your refund in under 3 weeks from the day you filed. Now, that's the IRS system working the way it was designed to work, in theory. So let's talk about when it doesn't work. So let's say it's been 3 weeks, nothing. Where's my refund? Says processing. Your bank account hasn't increased, and you're starting to think that something is wrong here. So what's happening? Well, there are 7 common reasons why refunds take longer than 21 days. Let's go through them. Number 1 is errors in your return. Simple mistakes, right? Like typos or math that doesn't add up, numbers that don't match the IRS's records. The IRS systems flag these automatically. Sometimes the IRS corrects minor math errors for you, but sometimes they don't. And when there's an inconsistency, your return can get pulled for manual review, and that slows everything down. Now, number 2 is filing status issues. This one catches a lot more people than you think. You see, you might file head of household when filing single was actually the correct choice, or married filing separately when married filing jointly was more accurate. And that creates some kind of discrepancy. The IRS has to reconcile it before releasing the funds to you. Number 3 is incomplete information. This means that you left something blank that shouldn't be blank. And here the IRS won't guess, and they won't fill in the missing data for you. They simply just pause the process. And a pause return doesn't move and you don't get your refund. Number 4 is identity theft or fraud. And this one is serious. If someone else already filed a return using your social security number, and yes, this does happen a lot more often than people realize, the IRS will freeze everything because they must verify your identity before any refund moves. If you suspect this is your situation, go ahead, you need to contact the IRS directly. Now, number 5 is busy periods. If you file close to the deadline, you're stepping into a longer line. The IRS processes millions of returns, right? Volume creates bottlenecks here. So the earlier you file, the shorter you have to wait. Now, number 6 is banking delays. You see, sometimes the IRS has already approved and sent your refund, but your bank is actually holding it. And as we know, banks have internal processing windows, high traffic periods, internal compliance checks, new account holds. All of these can delay the final deposit. And number 7 is outstanding debts. Look, this can be an uncomfortable one. If you owe back taxes, child support, student loans, or certain other government obligations, the IRS has legal authority to apply your refund to those debts before you even see a dollar. And if this applies to you, you may receive a notice explaining where your expected refund actually went. So what should you do while you're waiting? Here's a few steps for you. First, use the IRS tool called Where's My Refund? It's free, it's online, and it updates once every 24 hours. To use it, you need 3 things: your social security number or ITIN, your filing status, and the exact refund amount that you're expecting. Unfortunately, a rounded estimate won't work, and you can use that tool 24 hours after you e-file. And that tool tracks 3 different stages: return received, refund approved, and refund sent. And if you're stuck on a return received after 2 weeks, well, something is holding it up. And that's your cue to dig a little deeper. Call the IRS at 800-829-1954. But I'll be honest with you, getting a hold of someone typically takes time, and the online tool is usually faster. So start online. Now, if timing matters and you need access to your money sooner, there are advanced options like TurboTax offers something called a Refund Advance. It's a 0% APR loan based on your anticipated federal refund. There's no fees and it goes up to $4,000. Many people receive those funds within minutes of IRS acceptance. So if you don't want to wait days or weeks, all you got is minutes. If cash flow is tight, that can be a meaningful option for you. Now, we can't forget about state refunds. Do not assume your state and federal refunds arrive together. They don't. Your federal return goes to the IRS. Your state return goes to a completely separate authority. 2 different systems, 2 different timelines. Some states issue refunds within weeks. Others take a little bit longer. So to check your status for the state refund, go to your state's tax agency website and look for their version of Where's My Refund. And just like the IRS, you will need some basic information: social security number, tax year, and exact refund amount. So the bottom line is this: the IRS refund process is step by step. You file, you get accepted within 24 to 48 hours, you get approved within 21 days, and the money hits your bank account 1 to 2 days later. And as I mentioned before, that is the blueprint when everything works. And when it doesn't, now you understand why. But not only that, you know what to do next here. My name is Keran. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out the next one, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more videos to help you save on taxes and increase your wealth. Take care, everybody. See you in the next one.